Good morning, Bonneville County. You have just joined Breakfast with Senator Cook. I am the Idaho State Senator Kevin Cook from District 32, live on Facebook. I try to do this every Saturday morning at 10 a.m., especially during the session, to try and keep you informed of what we're doing back here over here in Boise, and hopefully to get some information from you. Some of the issues that you face, some of the things that you think that we need to be focusing on here in the Senate as legislators. So I just wanted to report back. Here's what's happening so that you know what's going on. The second week of the 2023 legislative session is in the books. It's done. It's over. And so I want to report back. What did we do this past week? Some fun things that happened. Thursday night, I had the opportunity to welcome 50 high school students from Idaho Falls High School and from Rigby High School. They came over to Boise for a debate competition. And so they had a full day of school on Thursday. They jumped on the bus and drove for 4 hours through, if you remember, it wasn't really good weather Thursday night. They hit a few icy patches and snow and rain, but they made it here. But they didn't get here until 8:50 p.m. So I was pretty tired myself, and I know they were as well. But anyway, they showed up at the Capitol, and I gave them a tour of the Capitol. We went on the Senate floor, and they got to sit in some of the seats. They were excited about that. We went up into the Senate gallery. We then went to the JFAC room, the Joint Finance Appropriations Committee room, and they got to sit there, and we talked about what happened there, how does a bill progress through the system, what do we do with budgets, and so I hope they learned something. It was great to visit with them, though. And then we took them down the tunnel, and they got to walk through the tunnel and see some of the artwork in the tunnel. But I tell you what, they were great kids. Every one of them said, thank you for your time, thank you for showing this. Just very, very well-respected kids. And then the teachers, obviously their coaches, their debate coaches, taking time away from their family, their spouse, and spending 2 nights overnight with a bunch of teenagers and all day. And I'm sure they don't get paid much for all the time away from their family that they're doing this. So we got some great teachers. Also this week, I believe it was Monday, I got to sit down and talk with some teachers from District 91 and 93. We were able to spend about an hour together and talk about some of the issues that they face in the classroom, some of the things that they'd like to see changed. Great conversation, great teachers. And then I think it might have been Tuesday night, I was invited to a charter school dinner event, and so I was able to go to that, and to my surprise, I didn't know they'd be there, was a bunch of administrators from Alturas school, charter school, and so I was able to sit down at their table and visit with them for several hours and hear what some of the issues they face. The really cool thing was Mrs. Michelle Ball was one of the administrators that were there. And she taught all of our kids at Sunnyside Elementary School. And so she is a wonderful, wonderful educator. And it's great to talk with her. Anyway, this week it made me feel like we are very, very lucky in Bonneville County. We have some incredible teachers, incredible education system going on there. I appreciate the teachers and what they do there. I am passionate about education and feel like we need to give our kids the very, very best education possible. Let's see. Tuesday, so as you know, I'm serving as the chairman of the Commerce and Human Resource Committee. Never been on this committee before, and serving as the chairman, and got lots to learned a lot. The past chairman, Senator Patrick, has been very gracious and helpful, as I've called him several times and talked with him and met with him. Very, very helpful. I'll just kind of give you a rundown of what we did on that committee this week. We held confirmation hearings for, 4 individuals that the governor has appointed. So we, confirmation hearings for gubernatorial appointments. We first heard talk with Mr. Rodney Higgins, Boise, Idaho, to serve on the State Insurance Fund Board. We then heard from Mr. Terry Gestrin of Donnelly, Idaho, to serve on the State Insurance Fund Board. Miss Patty Perkins of Boise, Idaho, to be reappointed to the Director of Department of Finance, and Ms. Jenny Revere of Meridian to be reappointed as Director of the Department of Labor. So they stood up before the committee and they talked to us. They introduced themselves and what their goals were, where they wanted to take, where they're serving, what was their goals, where they wanted to move the needle and improve on things and move forward. We asked them several questions. And that was Tuesday, and then Thursday, the committee voted to send the positive to send their appointments to the full Senate floor for confirmation. That same day, we heard from Lori Wolf. It was another governor appointment to serve as the administrator of Idaho Division of Human Resources. And then we heard from Tim Frost about a whole bunch of rules that we go through. So something we do different in Idaho is that we call it zero-base rules, but we basically, every year we review the rules. And if they've changed the rules, we go through it and make sure that those rules are in line with the law, the bills that we passed. So we pass a bill, and then the agencies interpret that bill and make rules to it. As we go through, we make sure that those rules are in line with the bills, that they didn't interpret it wrong. So, and the other thing is, as we go through and we're trying to reduce red tape, okay? We want businesses to flourish here in Idaho. We want them to be safe, but let's cut back on the red tape. And so Tim Frost presented a whole bunch of rules and did an awesome job. He really got rid of a lot of extra fluff that didn't need to be there, stuff that just they didn't need to have regulated, and so he did a great job of that. We do have a couple of confirmation hearings coming up. Mr. Keith Reynolds to be reappointed to the Director of Department Administration, and Mr. Thomas Keeley to be reappointed to the Director of Department of Commerce. So, if you know either one of those and would like to voice your opinion, and also I believe Lori Wolf will be voting on her confirmation probably Tuesday or Thursday this week. If you know either one of those three and would like to weigh in your opinion and give me some information, I would appreciate it. You can also log on and join us live and testify in person if you're here in Boise, or you can testify via Zoom. So you're welcome to do that as well. You have to sign up beforehand. And so get on to legislature.idaho.gov. Go there and you'll be able to find your way. If you can't, give me a call and I'll walk you through it. Anyway, would love to have you be a part of that confirmation if you know something about these individuals. Again, it can be pro or con. Okay, let's see, what else we got going? There's not a lot of work that's going on the Senate floor right now, so we've moved lots of gubernatorial appointments to committees, and some of those that we have voted on will come back to the committee, or back to the Senate, and be voted on. I think it's scheduled for Monday that we'll vote on some of those that we heard, some of our confirmations. And so we'll hear that. We've got some bills, committees starting to go through, and our first reading. So I would think probably by the end of the week, we'll actually start debating some of those bills on the Senate floor. And so things are moving, finally. All right, the thing that keeps me the busiest, the things that I am thinking about and working on, it seems like day and night. I wake up in the morning thinking about budgets. I think about budgets all through the day, and it seems like I go to bed thinking about budgets. So not a good thing to be doing. But anyway, we listened to several directors present their budgets. We spent probably 8 to 10 hours this week listening to Director Dave Jepson present the budget for the Department of Health and Welfare. This is a great guy. He is a great guy. He grew up in Ammon, and so he's a Bonneville County boy, but just does an incredible job. Very, very smart. We drilled him with several questions about his budget, and he didn't break a sweat. He knew his department, knew the figures. Very seldom did he have to call a friend, turn around and get somebody from the gallery to help answer some of the questions? Just an incredible guy. He presented budgets for child welfare, the Division of Welfare, Division of Medicaid, public health services, and many, many, many more. The Department of Health and Welfare is humongous. Just to give you an idea, their grand total of their budget, okay, this includes the general fund, dedicated funds, and federal funds. Their total budget came to $5,534,316,100. Humongous budget. Now compare that to the education budget. Okay, we always think education is humongous. Education budget this year, again, this is the governor's recommendation. He's recommended a budget of $3,514,938,700. So that's the education budget. So there's a difference there of about $2 billion with a B, $2 billion difference. Health and welfare has $2 billion more than education. So a big difference. The Department of Health and Welfare does a lot of good. So I don't want you to think I don't think they do. In fact, if you go to their website, they are begging you to sign up for some of their programs to receive free food, free rent, free electricity, free medical care. Early this morning, I took the dogs out for a walk before I came here to do this. And out there, I passed a great big apartment complex here in Boise and won a great big banner. And this banner said, you know, if you're having trouble with rent, come see us. We got free rent for those who have COVID problems. Okay, now, there are a lot of people that lost their jobs because of COVID. There are people struggling for COVID. And so I understand that. I believe that fully. It's not, so lots of people need help. And so it's not a bad thing what the Department of Health and Welfare is doing. Do you remember the old Chinese saying, though? Give a man a fish, you have fed him for a day. Teach a man how to fish, and you fed him for a lifetime. So the question I asked the Director of Health and Welfare, are we working just as hard to teach men and women how to fish as we are handing out fish? And that's the thing I want to make sure we're doing. As we look at this budget, it just seems like we are handing out fish, take the fish, and doing very, very little to teach how to fish, to help people to come out of poverty, to help them in some way to get ahead instead of handing out free money. And so I'm hoping we can change that as I look at the budget, things that we can cut back or things we can change and get our health and welfare budget back down to a manageable size where it should be. So I'm working on that. That's one of the things that I am spending a lot of time on. All right, this coming week in JFAC is Education Week. And so that's kind of why I did the comparison there. This week, we'll have education. So we have the budgets at K through 12, and the higher educations will be presented this week. We'll have the major universities. We'll have the community. So CEI will be there. The small colleges, community colleges will be there, and K through 12. Our very own brand new Superintendent of Public Education, Debbie Critchfield, will be presenting her budgets, and then we'll get to hear from all the university presidents and even President Amon from CEI. So it'll be fun to see them. It's been an incredible busy week, but a fun week. Just a reminder, something that Representative Wendy Horman and myself have started. We do a live Facebook session on Mondays at 5 p.m. And it's like 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. It's not long, but we call it Money Monday because we both serve on JFAC, and so we wanted to give you what's going on in JFAC. So that meeting is really all JFAC. It's all money. It's all budget. So I encourage you to come and listen to that live or listen to it afterwards. It'll be recorded and posted on Facebook. let's see, that's about it. If you have questions, again, love to hear from you. Again, you can call me, text me, whatever, and we'll get back with you as quick as I can and get you some answers. Have a wonderful, great week, and talk to you next Saturday. Bye.